What's up, YouTube? I know it's been a while since I uploaded, and the very little people that have watched this channel over time have watched it because of, they bought some Kratom at a gas station and they were curious about it, or maybe they're a average maybe they're a daily Kratom user. I just want to start this out by saying that please be careful. Please be careful. Kratom is addictive, and you will withdraw like hell trying to come off it if you don't have it. So, and the same goes with the stuff like Adderall or Adderall, not Adderall, the Adderall stuff, and the little energy shots and these new Kava ultimate extracts that are more sedating than Kratom. Because from my experience, Kratom really isn't sedating at all. It's just stimulating. There is no nod like if you were doing heroin. Please be careful with what you're putting in your body. I just wanted to say this and put this video out there for people who are, had seen my stuff in the past and think this stuff is, just whatever. And in a sense, from my experience, Kratom is not a substance that is harmful, but there have been incidents where people did suffer from Kratom and they did experience these bad symptoms. They were either allergic to metergenine, something with their body didn't like it. They took too much and there were other things mixed in. And as a result, they passed away. They're no longer here. And the media and the DEA, they collude and they realize that this is something that they want to fight. So, of course, the media is going to be on the side of the Fed every time. Every time they're going to be on the side of the Fed. That's just how the game plays. I understand it. You got your side, and we, the people, have our side. Many, many times, they have tried to federally outlaw Kratom, and it failed. In many places, there is the Kratom Consumer Protection Act, which a lot of states are adopting, and even Ohio has adopted a scientific approach to Kratom to better studying it and using it as an actual medicine, and prescribing it to patients. But it's still touchy. The federal government doesn't see it as illegal or legal. It's still very up and down. There are several federal initiatives to push for the Kratom Consumer Protection Act, KCPA, federally. They should do it with marijuana, and marijuana is very close to being legal soon, recreationally and medicinally. They need to do that with Kratom too, because Kratom's sold everywhere. Even within counties that have banned it, I have seen it. And I pay attention to Kratom and the laws in the counties and the states and what they do, because I have been taking this for so long as a medicine, and it helps tremendously with mood. It helps tremendously with fighting depression. It really does. And there is no sedating effects with Kratom. Not from my experience, no matter how much I took. It was always just mildly stimulating and very mood uplifting. I just felt very positive, very energetic, and very willing to accomplish what I would set out to accomplish. And it would make whatever I'm doing that much more enjoyable. So I have seen counties that have banned Kratom, and I have been in those gas stations. I was a truck driver for 3 to 4 years, and I have been in gas stations where Kratom is there, even though it's banned. And nobody, they really, the DEA and the police aren't going to go out of their way to find these gas stations and pull it off the ship. It is a little fish in a giant pond with hundreds of big fish. That's the truth. So it's going to be something that is, eventually it's going to come to a head, and the federal government's going to make a decision. And it's either going to be outlawed or it's going to be legalized. And there will be the KCPA on a federal level. And I'm leaning, there's so much going into Kratom right now where there's people studying it, what the OH7 metergenine, the extracts, what interacts with what. There's several chemicals, psychoactive chemicals within Kratom that act with one another. And the scientists are trying to determine what could potentially interact with something else that could be dangerous, whether it be just metergenine or 7-OH metergenine. The major psychoactive substance is the 7-OH metergenine, and the hydroxymetergenine, and a slew of other subset of sister chemicals within Kratom that they're trying to determine what can it really be used for. And there's a lot of people that come to the podium and testify that this has helped me beat heroin. This has helped me beat my opiate addiction. This has helped me survive. Otherwise, I might still be in the streets or homeless or using these substances, these heroin or opioids or opiates, whatever it may be. So I think it's important for us to take the stand on the podium, to speak to our senators and our representatives in our states and let them know this is not as dangerous as the Fed is trying to lead you to believe. This is not heroin. This is not something that you're going to break down in a spoon, put it in a rig, and mainline it. This is not something that people are taking this. They're mixing it with water. They're drinking it, or they're taking the capsules, or they're taking the extracts. And that's it. Another thing, if you're taking extracts every day, you're, one, going to spend an astronomical amount of money. Two, you're really, really hurting. If anything, the Fed should outlaw extracts, because extracts they are potently addictive. Whereas just the base crushed ground up leaf and the capsules are much more easier to maintain because it's something that can last. It's something that you can use on a daily basis and still achieve what you're trying to achieve. Now, something like I have been using, let me see if I can get it right here for you. So everybody has seen this brand. Everybody has seen this stuff. It's all over. Remarkable Herbs is exceptionally consistent in their quality. They're exceptionally, how do I put it? They are a solid company that makes a solid product that I recommend. But let me put this up right here. So if I were you and you're watching this video and you've seen my past videos and you take Kratom, please be careful. Stay away from extracts. Do your research. And if you can, do your part to your local senators or representatives, if you can, to help shed light on this substance as people who use it medicinally, to let them to so they can be informed about the truth of kratom and not be ignorant to it and think it's this bile substance that just destroys life. So, and I mean, anything can be used medicinally. Cocaine can be used medicinally, and it still is. Heroin can be used medicinally, and it still is. Now, from my perspective, from my opinion, I would not, if I could give any advice, if you are using kratom to come off heroin or opiates or opioids, I would say, as somebody who's been through heroin withdrawal multiple times, go through withdrawal. Experience that hurt. It doesn't last long. It may seem like it does when it starts, but in 3 to 4 days, you will be over it. You will be low for about a couple of months. That's the hard part. The physical part lasts short, but the hard part is trying to maintain a healthy, balanced lifestyle after you have kicked it. Use that time, that 2 to 3 months, to get your head right. And then you can use kratom to maintain those cravings. And you can still be functional, a functional human being, not somebody who is nodding off in the street. Because we all know now that heroin is hard to come by. Most of what you can get out there is either fully synthetic, i.e. fentanyl or some other fully synthetic research chemical that somebody has concocted that skirts the law because that particular chemical hasn't been outlawed or banned, and they mix it in and with other things, and it looks like heroin, it feels kind of like heroin, so you good enough. Just please be careful. And when people talk about it around you, just take the time to inform them. That way we can all understand that this is not something, this substance is not like heroin at all. Despite it acting on you opioid receptors in the brain, it is not sedating. It is not something that you nod on, and it is not something, if you're going out of your way to rob and steal for kratom, people are just going to do heroin anyways. They're not going to think about kratom at all. They're going to go get the real stuff. People aren't doing that with this. Be careful. So that, with that being said, I'm going to end it right here and, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. Let me know if this video was informative, if you liked it at all. I will no longer make kratom reviews. I will no longer try to promote any of these things, but I will try my best to keep you informed on the future of this plant. And it is a plant. It is a remarkable plant, and it's been used around the world for centuries. And people are making a killing with it right now. That's for sure. Anyways, peace.